3, 2. Carter, you ready for this?
Ready as I'll ever be.
1. Here we are. We're live. It's Tuesday. You know that. You know what that means? That means it's time for another episode of Picked Off with Josh and Carter. I'm Josh Griffin. That is my broadcast partner, Mr. Alex Carter, a.k.a. David Crockett. What's going on, Carter?
Not a lot, man. Happy to be here. Happy Tuesday. Had some craziness over the last few days, but all good. Ready to do this show, man.
That's right. A tornado hit your house.
It did. Well, it actually hit my mom's house. I was actually over here visiting with her and my stepdad when it happened, man. I'm telling you, it was pretty scary. But we're all okay, and that's the main thing.
That's the important thing. That's right. Glad to hear you're all okay, and it didn't mess up your studio there.
No, the studio's still here, still standing. It did break my Chipper Jones bobblehead, and I'm not very happy about that.
Ooh, maybe somebody could share this on Twitter to Chipper Jones. Maybe he'll send you another one.
Yeah, and sign it, Chipper.
All right, we got a good show for you today, folks. Luke Thomas is going to drop in here in just a little bit, talk a little recruiting and news. Carter and I don't really hit you with a lot of facts, so Luke's going to fill that void for us today. And then we're going to do, let's see, don't forget about the top comment of the show. Top commenter is going to get that prize. We don't know what it is. I could go digging through my junk drawer. We could have a ball player sign something for you. It could be a coffee mug. Could be an 8x10.
Hey, I got that covered, man. I got enough Tennessee stuff to go around for years, so I got something in mind. So there we go.
A picture of Carter in his Tennessee Speedo. We don't know. It's a surprise. But regardless, you're going to win something. You're going to get it for free. We're going to ship it to your house. All right. Let's see. Then right after this, we're gonna drop in with Luke. We got a moment in ball history. Carter's gonna grind his gears. What are you grinding your gears about? Music at the stadium. That's right. We're gonna do our top 5 favorite ball players / coaches. Could be anybody associated with Tennessee athletics. And whack ass traditions. General Neyland's 7 memes. Our dumpster fire of the week, and then we're going to close it out.
It's going to be a good show, man.
Yeah, action-packed. You guys ready to get going? Carter, you got them comments pulled up? You watching everybody?
1 second on that. I'm sorry. By the time you get Luke in here, I'll have it ready, okay?
All right. Yeah, if you could fire those questions at me, and I'll ask Luke. Anybody's got any comments, I'll ask Luke. Luke's not able to hear, or see from the comment section, so we'll have to relay those. And this morning I'm going with the German beer, green bottle German beer. You all know what it's called. All right, Luke, are you with us, buddy? What's going on, my friend?
Not much. Just grabbing milk.
Say hi to the Picked Off fans.
What's up, Picked Off fans?
All right, Luke. So a lot of buzz surrounding the University of Tennessee when it comes to recruiting. So why don't you tell us what's going on in the recruiting sphere? Who Tennessee's gotten over the past couple of weeks here, who we're looking at coming down the pipe, those kinds of things. Enlighten our fan base.
Yeah, well, it's not a big secret that momentum is at a climax for Tennessee at this point. They've gotten 8 recruits over a period of the last week or so. I mean, Terrence Lewis, he's a 5-star prospect, #1 player in the state of Florida, #1 outside linebacker in the country. Landing him, I would say, is the biggest get so far. Dylan Brooks, who is defensive end, 5 why it's so big. A lot of people don't realize what 5-star is. There's only 32 5-stars in each class. Those represent the 32 NFL draft picks. So you can have however many 4-stars or 3-stars in the organization wants. You only have 32 5-stars. And Tennessee's already gotten 2 of them. Most programs don't sign any 5-stars. So the fact that Tennessee's already gotten 2 of them in the ship, if they can hold on to them, that's going to be big. And rumor has it they could be getting another 5-star on Sunday if push comes to shove.
Who might that be?
It could be a multitude of people. A couple of coaches have joked around, hinting just at a big fish jumping in the boat. I don't want to speculate too much because it could be a multitude of players, but my guess is it would be either on the defensive side of the ball or the offensive position.
Sounds good. Got to appreciate what Coach Pruitt and the boys over there in the recruiting offices are doing. Bodes well for the future of Tennessee football. I know we had some top 5, top 10 classes in the past with the Butch Jones administration, but it seemed to be that was padded a little bit by the number of 3 and 4 stars that he was able to recruit. Seemed like there the mantra was volume, not quality. So looks like we're getting some higher quality players with this staff. Would you say that's accurate?
I would. Now, the thing to watch here is since he does have quite a bit of 3-stars in this class, I would be fairly surprised, assuming the high school season is played, if a lot of those players stay as 3-stars, and a lot of them are borderline. So I could see a lot of these 3-stars that right now Tennessee has moving up to possibly a 4-star. But overall, when you look at some of these 3-stars that Tennessee has now, they do have a bunch of them. Deshaun Rucker comes to mind. A lot of these players have offer lists like 4 and 5 stars. Rucker specifically was safety that Clemson wanted, and Alabama wanted, and Auburn wanted. Tennessee was able to land him anyway. So, I mean, it might look like on paper these classes are similar to Butch Jones, but in reality they are much, much deeper. And like you said, Jeremy Pruitt is valuing quality over quantity. Coach Jones valued quantity over quality. So.
Did you mention Cody Brown in there? I know I just saw something drop about him yesterday or maybe the day before.
Mentioned who?
Cody Brown. Running back?
Yes, Cody Brown.
Yeah.
He's a 4-star running back from the state of Georgia. Obviously, Georgia recruited him. Has a very nice offer list. He's Tennessee's, assuming you go by 24/7 Sports, which I do. He's the 3rd highest player on Tennessee's commit list right now. He's a big physical back. Jeremy Pruitt really likes the physicality of him. Number 9 is his position, I believe, around there, give or take. He's a top 10 player, I think, in the state of Georgia. So, I mean, landing him was obviously big, but at the same time, I think he's got some room to grow. And under A.J. Artis, assuming he gets that strength and conditioning vacancy with the departure of Kirk Fitzgerald, he can turn into a really nice player.
Yeah, seemed like there was a lot of buzz surrounding that kid. I know he's only a 4-star, but his photos, the little photo shoot that they do when they come and visit the university, he looks pretty rocked up. So it seems to me like even the 3 and 4-star kids that Pruitt and his staff are recruiting are just better physical specimens. They're more mature in terms of physical attributes whenever they get to the university than some of the 3 and 4 stars that we've seen in the past.
Yeah, and Josh, another thing is a lot of people don't realize how good 4 stars are. Again, like I said, there are only 32 5-stars. So obviously, by default, there's going to be a lot more 4 and 3 stars. You're not going to be able to get all 32 5-stars in your class. That's obvious. You're going to have to. So when you replace a lot of those vacancies with 4 stars, it's good. So there's not a big talent gap between 5 and 4 stars. I don't think. It's just a matter of perception. If a junior or a sophomore sits down on National Signing Day and sees, wow, Tennessee Tennessee signed 3 or 4 or 5 stars, that's a perception difference. They are more inclined to go to a program where the top players are going. There's not a big difference between high 4 stars and high 4 stars and 5 stars. It's just a perception difference in my view. So I mean, Cody Brown, he's worthy of that ranking. I think he could be a bit higher, but overall, there's someone that you're excited about, and I think Tennessee fans should be excited about it as well.
Yeah, I've always said there's not a huge talent gap between 4 stars and 5 stars. Where you find the biggest gap is between those 5-star guys and the 3-star guys. And so these 4 stars at any point in their college career can become 5-star players without a doubt. We've seen it happen time and time again here at the University of Tennessee and throughout the rest of the college football landscape.
Look at Cam Sutton.
No name, yeah, absolutely. Cam Sutton is a good example of that. No name guys, 3-star recruits become, leaders in their program, record breakers, top tier players go on to do great things in the NFL draft and have great NFL careers. So anywhere within that group of 3 stars that are coming to the University of Tennessee, there could be, the next Reggie White, the next
possibly
the next Peyton Manning.
For sure.
Anything else going on with the university, Luke?
I mean, right now it's just recruiting with this dead period that we're in because of COVID. But I mean, just keep your eyes peeled in the next couple of days. You'll probably be able to see a few more commits. Caden Salter is one that I would watch. Again, a big fish probably jumping in the boat on Sunday. I would watch that. Potentially you could get a few more next week as well. But other than that, it's been slow.
Carter, do the guys down in the chat section have any questions for Luke?
Let's see. No, I don't think so. And there's quite a few. I mean, there's a couple people in here. Shout out to Slim Mosley. Says, what up, Carter? Another white guy. The white guy's Josh. NASCAR Vols in the comments. Kevin Stokes. Hoss 4107. Let's see. Ballard Sports Media. Shout out to you, Ballard. Shout out to everybody. But NASCAR Vols says they might promote that JUCO running back we got from a 3 to a 4-star. So.
Yeah, what do you think? What do you think about that, Luke? They're talking about the JUCO running back that just came in. He was the number 1 JUCO running back. I think he comes in as a 4-star. They're talking about possibly giving him that 5th star.
Yeah, well, he's actually a 3-star, but it's different for JUCO ratings. The number 1 JUCO prospect, or excuse me, the number 1 JUCO running back in the nation. He's not going to get any higher, I don't think.
Okay. Well, anything else you want to add?
Not really. I mean, I appreciate having me on.
That's what got the picture.
We appreciate you stopping by. I don't know if you're watching the stream, but were you able to see the photo that we're using for your interview?
I created that just for you.
I don't know where you got that, but
That's one of Carter's creations. I love it.
Carter, we need to have a talk after you all.
Carter, you already got your tits in a ringer. We're not even a few minutes into the show. Luke, we thank you for stopping by, buddy. Let's make this a regular thing. Let's have you in at least once a week and enlighten the folks about what's going on with Tennessee football, Tennessee sports.
I appreciate it.
All right, man. Have a good one. There you have it, folks. Luke Thomas, editor-in-chief at the Volunteer Roadshow. That's the guy responsible for all the articles that you're going to find on volunteerroadshow.com. Really talented young writer. A little opinionated, but a lot of people agree with his opinions. So there you go.
That's right. I mean, he definitely knows what he's talking about most of the time.
I'm telling you guys, Luke spends all of his days on social media and in the newsroom, digging up articles, finding every little piece of information he can about recruiting. He's a great resource to have here at the Volunteer Roadshow, and it makes us a better organization to have somebody with that kind of dedication to finding those news nuggets that everybody's looking for.
NASCAR Vols says a little opinionated question mark. NASCAR Vol and Luke are almost like they're rivals. Definitely, they go at it quite a bit. The comments on the Sunday night live stream. So yeah.
NASCAR, take it easy on old Luke. He's still young. He's still green on the tree. We're waiting for him to ripen, and he'll be an asset to the entire Vol Sports community once he's got a little more experience under his belt. But that kid really knows what he's talking about. All right. Just a reminder, we mentioned in the first part of the show there, but we're going to award some kind of prize. We don't know what it is, to the top comment of the show. So get those comments going. YouTube, Facebook, it doesn't matter. Periscope, whatever feed you're on. Hit us with those comments. Top comment of the show is going to win that prize. And Carter has promised that the top commenter of the year is going to get a video of him doing the truffle shuffle in the Tennessee Speedo.
I don't remember signing a contract about that, but I mean
that might actually make people stop commenting. We better retract that.
Yeah.
But at the end of the 2020 season, I think there's going to be a comment or two that sticks in our minds, and we can probably do something special for those guys too. The idea being, just comment, guys. Let us know what you're thinking. Give us some show ideas too. I mean, if you got an idea for a segment or something like that, throw it out there. We're pretty open. This is a fan-driven show.
For the fans, by the fans.
All right, now it's time for our moment in Vols history. I think we're going all the way back to 2002, and it sounds really, really, really bad to say all the way back to 2002. It feels like 2002 was just yesterday, but that was 18 years ago, bud.
I know. Pull out your Lil Jon the East Side Boys CD and taking a trip back.
What do you got for us?
2002, Tennessee versus Arkansas, 6 overtimes, longest overtime game in Tennessee history. I think it's like number 3 on the longest overtimes in college football. Arkansas, man, somehow they just, I don't know why, but they get themselves in these situations, these really long overtime games, because I think still the longest overtime is 7 overtimes. That was Arkansas Ole Miss. It may have changed, but I'm pretty sure that's still the longest overtime. But yeah, Arkansas, man, they've always been in these really long overtime games. Never understood it, and I think they always end up losing them too. But talk about that game real quick. Tennessee didn't have the best season in 2002. We just come off a really good year in 2001. Could have played for the national championship game had we beat LSU. We'd have played Miami in the Rose Bowl. But we did have some good players coming back offensively. We had Casey Clausen, Kelly Washington, but we'd lost our starting running back, our top receiver in Stallworth. We'd lost a lot of defensive weapons. But kind of a rebuilding year as it is. And but we did have Jason Witten, and the best part of that game, I remember being there. The start of the 6th overtime, Arkansas got the ball first. They had to settle for a field goal. And when we got it for our first possession on 1st and 10, Clausen hit Jason Witten over the middle, 25-yard pass to win the game, 41-38 in 6 overtimes. I remember my stepdad driving home, which was 5 hours. We had to pull over on the side of the road and all have to take a nap because it was so late when we finally got out of there, because it was already a night game. And to go for 6 overtimes, man, that was rough. But just kind of one of those games that'll always be remembered because of how long it was and, just back and forth nonstop. So, yeah, it'll always be remembered as one of the greatest games in Tennessee history. Definitely top 10, I would agree. I think we got a clip for him, don't we, Josh?
We do. I've done my fair share of roadside napping in my day. That's funny that you had to do that. Here it is.
87 yards. Good pass. He got it. David Carlton. Volunteers trail in 6th overtime by 3. Pass over the middle. Whitten, it's over. Tennessee wins.
Jason Witten, volunteer great. What a beautiful moment.
Oh, yeah, man, it was. And, Jason only played 3 years. He left his junior year. But, I mean, look at the career he's had in the NFL as a Dallas Cowboy. Now he's a Las Vegas Raider, man. That's going to be weird seeing him with the Raiders. And he's definitely only got maybe a year or two left in his career. He'd already retired once, as we know, and then came back out of retirement, play last season. So, but, yeah, man, he'll always be a Tennessee legend. His brother's still a head coach at Elizabethton, I believe. So, yeah, we all love Jason Witten, that's for sure.
Absolutely. The Mr. Slim is trying to win that top comment. Volunteer Roadshow is the best show on YouTube. Everyone with internet access should watch everything they do.
Slim, I'll say right now you have the top comment, but that's not the comment. The top comment so far, and this is just so far, this could change very easily. It is, "What up, Carter and the other white guy?" That's the top comment so far.
Oh, I think I've got some white in there somewhere. I'm a mix of everything.
He looks like a grizzly bear with that beard.
That's right. All right. What are we doing next? We're going to grind some gears.
Grind some gears.
What's got you ticked off today, Carter? You got to wet your whistle before you get your gears grinding?
Yeah, I got to wet my whistle, So what's grinding my gears today, you say? Well, you want to really know what grinds my gears? Music at college football games. I grew up going to college football games where the only music you ever heard was the band. Whether it was in Knoxville, listening to the Pride of the Southland, at Tuscaloosa, listening to the $1 Million Band, LSU, listening to the Golden Band from Tigerland, whatever it may be. I've been to a lot of Titans games too. Now, Titans, pro games are different. They don't have marching bands. Well, I think the Browns do, or maybe the Ravens. But, the fact is, that's part of the pageantry of college football is the marching bands. I've always felt that way. And when you have a band like the Pride of the Southland or, even the $1 Million Band at Alabama, that's part of what makes college football great. The fight songs, the cheers, everything. And so all of a sudden nowadays you go to a college football game and the band doesn't play as much because they've got, the PAs just, and it's not even that it's annoying too because it's so freaking loud. It's way over the top. Come on, we don't need DJs at college football games. We don't need that crap. It really pisses me off to have to sit there and go to a football game. And let me tell you, this is the worst one. The first time I really noticed it at Neyland Stadium was 2013 against Austin Peay. Okay, and I just walk into Neyland Stadium. I'm walking, I find my section and where my seat is. And guess what song's playing, Josh?
What's that?
Call Me Maybe. Are you freaking kidding me?
Nothing
Call
says
Me Maybe.
Nothing says blood and grass and leather like Call Me Maybe.
Oh my God, dude. That pissed me off. I'm sitting there thinking, I'm at a football game watching the University of Tennessee, who's supposed to be, knocking heads, football, playing on the gridiron, and they're playing Call Me Maybe. I mean, what's next? Wrecking Ball by Miley Cyrus? I mean, give me a freaking break. Jesus.
NASCAR says the only music at the football games should be the band.
Thank you, NASCAR. Absolutely.
So you're telling me the Welcome to the Jungle and the Back in Black and all those hard hitting classic rock songs don't have a place in the college football world?
I don't think so. I mean, and there's one song that is so overplayed at college football stadiums, and this, one might surprise you, but I can't tell you how many times I've watched like a Thursday night ESPN2 football game, and for whatever reason, whether it's like Rutgers and Norfolk State, it don't matter who it is, why do they always play For Whom the Bell Tolls by Metallica? Like, I've watched like Cincinnati play on a Thursday night, like I said, and then it's For Whom the Bell Tolls. Then you watch another AAC team or something, Memphis, For Whom the Bell Tolls. Like, that song is so overplayed at college football games. But yeah, I just don't think it has a place.
NASCAR says third down for what?
Oh, man. Don't even. That's a whole nother grind my gears right there.
Yeah, the third down, tune that changed to when Pruitt got here, it changed to the intro to Welcome to the Jungle, and that's all right. I don't mind it. I didn't mind it the first, I don't know, maybe 10 or 12 times, but man, we're going into the third season, and I feel like this year we're going to hear Welcome to the Jungle on third down again. It hasn't changed since he got here, and it gets old.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, the NFL, man, that's what makes me think, because, I've been to quite a few, Titans games, like I said, and they always play like either Crazy Train as they're getting ready to kick off, Thunderstruck by AC/DC, some song like that. And dude, don't get me wrong, I love all those songs, but those songs are so overplayed. It's just, it's unreal. And I guess when I go to a college football game, there's nothing like hearing the Pride of the Southland. Even at halftime, dude, I enjoy watching the circle drill. Every time, it always just makes me go, wow.
Yeah.
That's incredible. And that'll never change with me. That's just how I grew up.
Old Haas is in the chat room here now. He says, BVD and Carter agree on this subject, like father, like son.
Ooh, he's pushing for the top comment.
He says Seven Nation Army by the White Stripes is way overplayed at college football games.
Geez.
He's right. He's right about
that. I
remember
when Georgia scored on us in 2016 in Athens, right before they did the kickoff, before we won with the Hail Mary, they were playing that song. And the Big Ten seems to be a big thing in the Big Ten, the Seven Nation Army. Like, you can watch Penn State, Michigan, and of course, at Penn State it's all white, but they got the Shakers or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I've noticed that, like Michigan and Penn State especially, man, they tear that song up. I mean, even Alabama does the Dixieland Delight song. So there's some things that are like, yeah, it's okay. Like at Alabama, you used to, every time you were there, you always heard Sweet Home Alabama before the game.
Right. Luke has moved from the show into the comments section and says he, for one, liked third down for what? FSU has got it right. They planned their fight song, or I guess they play their fight song on third down, not anything else. I mean, I guess if the band fired up Rocky Top every third down, that'd be pretty good.
Well, I mean, dude, they play it 1,000 times a game. Well, hopefully they do. That means we're doing something right. But I mean, there's like little cheers that the Pride does that, they've even got like a first down thing that every time they get a first down, you hear it. And, it's like for every, and on defense especially, they do the little gladiator theme where everybody takes the shakers and does this with them.
Yeah.
Just little things, man, that I enjoy hearing that. And I know this is something that's going to keep going on with football. I just hope that they don't eventually do away with the marching bands. I really hope that never happens.
I think it's a long shot for us to assume that the marching bands will go away, but as these younger generations come in, man, that's what they want to hear and that's what they want to see. And it turned out to be a pretty effective recruiting tool for Butch Jones whenever he brought old Sterl on the field with the DJ booth. A lot of kids really responded to that, and it helped him get some of the best recruiting classes in the country.
See how that worked out.
Again, in terms of quantity, not necessarily quality.
Yeah, and I have nothing. I mean, there's just, I don't know. I think it just takes away from the band too much.
Right.
But that's just my opinion. I mean, hey, some people may like it, and, you know, but really, call me maybe. Come on now. There's no need for that. Play Thunderstruck. Play, you know, We Them Boys. I don't care. But call me maybe. Give me a break.
There is a lot to be said about marketing departments of these universities and how they reach out to fan bases and demographics that wouldn't necessarily be that interested in football. And I think that's probably just part of it. I think that's why you hear the Call Me Maybe songs and things like that. You know, they're trying to reach out to the younger generation. They're trying to reach out to the female generation or to the female demographics. And, you know, you want an event like that, 120,000 people packed into one stadium. You know, you want everybody to have a good time.
Oh, I know.
But that doesn't mean that I agree that Call Me Maybe has its place in college football.
It does not. Maybe at Vanderbilt, you know. That's what good recruiting. That's like Vanderbilt recruiting, you know. Well, Derek Mason, call me maybe, you know.
That's the official theme song of Vanderbilt football recruiting. Call me maybe.
Exactly.
Fantastic. All right, you got anything else for the folks when you're with your gear grinding?
I'll have something else for you Thursday. Don't worry, folks.
All right. Let's move on to the top 5. This is where Carter and I give you our top 5 of whatever specific category we've decided to come up with for the show. You guys don't hesitate to submit some ideas for the top 5.
And in the comments, everybody, if you're a Tennessee fan, give your top 5.
Yeah,
Alabama, whatever your team is, give it your top 5. And
this is a good one for the comment section, man. You can give your top 5. What we're doing is top 5 favorite Vol players and coaches. We go from 5 to 1, so we ascend in our order. And Carter, do you want to kick it off? You want me to start it off? How you want to do it?
I'll let you go first today, Josh. Since usually I'm the one that goes first. Look, I just knocked over my camera. Oh shoot! All right.
Oh, Carter. Bobby, where's that production team at?
Hashtag professional. Daggone. It just keeps happening.
We need to start putting that in the description of our show, hashtag professional.
Yeah, we'd have to give BVD a royalty, I believe, on that one. But that's okay. He don't mind. I'm his son, so it's all good.
I don't think BVD would mind the royalties on anything. So, all right, my top 5, and you'll have to forgive the dogs in the background.
Throw them a treat. They'll be all right.
It's that snap. It works every time. Boom. All right, so I'm going to start it off with Juwan Jennings. That's my number 5. Granted, he didn't break a lot of records at Tennessee. He didn't, he did some great things, had some great moments and everything, but his dedication to the program is why I'm giving him my number 5 spot. Juwan Jennings gave his all and then some for Tennessee. Sure, he got dismissed from the program for a short time, but I don't think there's a Tennessee fan out there that can blame him for why he did what he did when he went off on the coaching staff.
No, you can't. Do you want me to do my number 5?
Yeah, hit me with your number 5.
My number 5 is going to be Joey Kent, Tennessee's all-time leading receiver. I mean, he played with Manning for 3 years. 94, 95, 96. I actually got to meet Joey Kent and got to know him pretty well on a personal level. And Joey has promised to come on our show sometime, so I
There we
can't
go.
wait for that. And Joey just, I mean, man, like the first play against Alabama, 95, caught that pass, scored touchdown, play number one of the
Yes.
great John Ward calls. I mean, he's just, he wasn't a real big guy, but man, he could catch anything, and he was
Yes.
super quick, and just gotta love Joey Kent.
Joey Kent, what did he do? All he did was score. Play number one.
That's it.
Yeah, I love that stuff. It gives me chills listening to old John Ward calls.
Yeah.
Which brings me to my number 4, John Ward. I know he's not an athlete or a coach, but probably one of my, I struggled with not putting him at number 1, but I've got some other ideas for my number 1 spot. John Ward, definitely an icon at the University of Tennessee, so I'm going John Ward, number 4.
All right. Number 4 for me is Juwan Jennings. You've already kind of talked about him. You made a good point, Josh. He never broke any records or anything like that, but you're right. I mean, he is all Tennessee. He's from Murfreesboro. He grew up, loving Tennessee. He'll die loving Tennessee. And just, he just had the will, the old saying, carry the fight. I mean, he brought that every game, no matter who we were playing. He gave his all for Tennessee, no matter what. So he'll always be, one of my top favorite players. And of course, how can we forget about the game-winning catch against Georgia in 2016? I mean, that was pretty big.
Absolutely. One of my favorite moments in volunteer sports history was that Hail Mary. That was there's a lot of personal feelings attached to that moment. I thought we were about to lose a game, and we pulled it out at the last second. I mean, just it's what every kid jumps in the backyard and sets up that scenario playing backyard football. It's what every kid dreams of. Juwan Jennings got to live at Neyland Stadium. Sorry, it wasn't at Neyland Stadium. It was in Athens. But he got to live that moment. And
real quick, Josh, sorry.
Yeah.
Shout out to Gate City Blue Devil in the comments. We appreciate that, Flint. You coming in here. Sam Bell says, "What's up?" We appreciate you coming in, Sam Bell. Appreciate everybody. If you wouldn't mind putting a like, go in and giving us a like if you don't mind. That'd be really appreciated.
Absolutely. Hit us with the like. Throw the super chats at us, Flip us 50 cents. We're just going to use it to buy better equipment and make the show better. So Carter also needs some beard balm to help him grow a beard. He's got one on top of his head now with that coonskin cap, but we'd like him to have a beard on his face. What are you blowing your whistle for? You're whistling. You're whistling, blowing a whistle on me. Thought you only did that when you were grinding your gears. All right.
Making fun of my Arkansas neck beard ain't cool.
All right. Your number is my number 3.
Yep.
My number 3, the Minister of Defense, Reggie White.
Yep.
One of the greatest to ever come through the university.
You got that right. I guess I'll go with my number 3. My number 3 is going to be Casey Clausen, man. He's definitely not the greatest quarterback of all time at University of Tennessee, but I think he has an argument for being like right behind Manning. Pretty close in that list, man. And I just loved Casey Clausen, watching him. I mean, he was the road warrior, lost like 2 road games his entire career. Only lost to Alabama once. Went 2-2 against Florida. Won at the Swamp. Actually, he didn't start the Florida game his freshman year, so he went 2-1 against Florida and beat them both years in Gainesville. He had one of the ugliest spirals I'd ever seen. But, I mean, he had a lot of good wins, and Tennessee was in a good place when he was our quarterback. And, you know, the Iceman, Casey Clausen, is just always going to be one of my favorites. So that's why he's my number 3.
There you go. All right. My number 2 is a two-parter.
Two-parter.
My top 2 favorite players, Tennessee football. But number 1 is reserved for somebody else, so I'm doing a two-parter on my number 2. I think they both deserve mention. Peyton Manning, number 1, the obvious choice.
Right.
Number 2, just my personal favorite player, the guy that I love to watch the most at the University of Tennessee, Arian Foster. Arian Foster was a dog of a running back. I mean, he was a man-child. He was really hard to bring down. He went to the university at the same time that I did. He was the number 1 running back at the time that I was there. And that was whenever our running game was just nasty.
Oh, that's a controversial one right there.
You can call it controversial if you want to. It's just my personal player that I remember watching and just thinking, you know, if you get the ball in Arian Foster's hands, he's going to pick up those yards you need. He's going to mow somebody over. He'll get in the end zone. You know, he just seemed to always come through whenever you needed him to come through.
Except when he fumbled the ball all the time.
He had his problems early on with the fumbles.
Yeah, but that's kind of a lot of running backs. So, I mean, that's fine. I think Arian Foster gets a lot of unwanted hate at times, you know.
Right. I mean, you've got your top 5 that, you know, that need to be in the top 5. The top 5 that you can't ignore. I'm saying I'm putting Arian Foster up there at number 2 with Peyton Manning because he's
personal.
He's easy to overlook, and he's my personal favorite player. And then, I mean, you guys know I'm from the Houston area in Texas. Then he goes to the Texans and just cracks it off in the NFL.
That's true, man.
I mean, an absolute beast in the NFL. And if I'm being real honest, you know, I could make that a 3-parter and say Peyton Manning, Arian Foster, and Alvin Kamara for the NFL careers that they had.
Yeah.
You know, I love it whenever my Vols go off in the NFL. And
I'll tell you what, Josh, I'm going to do something special for you.
All right.
I'm going to do something real special for you, buddy.
Yeah.
Since you are a huge Arian Foster fan, and I've already promised that I was going to send you those Houston Astro cards. Look right here. I'm going to send that right there with it.
Bam.
Autographed Arian Foster card.
Oh my gosh, that will be one of the prize. That'll go in my office. That's not going in my man cave. That's going in my office. That's a conversation piece right there. I love Arian Foster. You know, and here's another thing too. NCAA football, Arian Foster was impossible to tackle. He was impossible to tackle.
Oh, he was good. He definitely was. So yeah, I'm gonna send that to you.
All right. Glitchy Blue Devil dropping the super chat. We appreciate
Blue
that.
Devil.
I'm sorry. Gate City. The shades and the lights in the face and everything. It's hard to read these screens. Gate City Blue Devil. I'm sorry for mispronouncing your name. Dropping the super chat. Man, we appreciate that a ton.
Yep.
All right.
That's my boy Flint.
Who's your number 2?
All right. My number 2 is going to be Eric freaking Berry. Man, another person that I've got to personally meet, and it was just by chance, just luck. I don't know if I've told this story. I'll try to make it quick, but you know, I lived in Pensacola, Florida, and in 2011, Eric Berry was in his second season with the Chiefs. He tore his ACL, and where I lived on Pensacola Beach at the time, right over the bridge was Andrews Institute. Dr. Andrews is very famous. You always see him on the Auburn sidelines.
Right.
He's got a place in Pensacola and Birmingham, and he does a lot of Tommy John surgeries and ACL repairs and Anyway, he had a condo at the same place where I was living at the time, and he would send a lot of his patients, like big athletes. Like I met Terrell Suggs. Um, I met a few former baseball players. They would stay there. Well, we had just lost to Georgia in the 2011 season, and I got off the elevator and I was going to go get something to eat. And I saw these two guys and a girl, and one of them had a Tennessee hat on. And I was like, yeah, it was a tough loss last night. And when they turned around and looked at me, it was Eric freaking Berry and his dad James. And I was like starstruck, man. I was like, oh my God, I've got all three of your jerseys in my closet right now. And he's like, well, okay, I'll sign them. Anyway, the whole thing, I got to take pictures. He signed all my jerseys, and ended up he was there by himself a lot. So one day, and at the time I was working at Buffalo Wild Wings, I brought home some wings. I was like, I'm gonna go to Eric Berry's. He was only one floor below me, and take him some food. And man, he was really cool about it. And we actually kind of really got to know each other. Like we played Xbox. My parents actually had him over, and my mom made spaghetti, and Eric Berry sat there at my dinner table eating spaghetti. So man,
Nice.
it was really cool. And so he's always going to be number 2, but not just because of that, just because of the player he was. The guy made plays, just so versatile. It doesn't matter if he plays corner, safety, linebacker. He could play defensive end. It probably wouldn't matter. He could just make plays, and he's one of the greatest to ever do it.
He was a dog. One of the most talented football players, just all-around football players to ever come through the university for sure. All right, before we get to our number ones here, Gate City Blue Devils says his favorite ball is 5-1. Eric Berry, Willie Galt, Jay Graham, Al Wilson, Heath Schuler, and I don't think anybody could argue with any of those choices. Those are all
Not at all
greats. NASCAR, his top 5: Jalen Hurd.
This got to be a joke.
Jalen McCullough, John Kelly, Eric Ainge, and Jarrett Garantano. And I got to think that's a joke.
That might be the top comment. Oh, man. Who's your number 1, Josh?
All right, my number 1, and I don't think that anybody's going to argue with this, the myth, the legend, the great Pat Head-Summit.
That is a really good one.
She did more for Tennessee athletics than any woman coach, any women's sports coach has ever done for any university. And what she accomplished as a coach, and having the most wins of any coach in history, what she did for the program, the respect that she garnered for the University of Tennessee women's basketball, and for Tennessee athletics altogether. That kind of stuff, when your other programs, when your baseballs and basketballs and women's basketball, track, when those teams are winning national championships, it just helps with recruiting for football. And I know that we like to say, football is the biggest revenue sport. It's the capstone to any athletic program. In order to build a great football program, you've got to have supporting athletic teams that are winning national championships, that can talk to some of these guys, talk to some of these recruits, tell them about their experiences as an athlete at the university. And Pat Summit built that program into an absolute juggernaut. She'll never be forgotten. That's my number 1.
And man, that is such a good number 1. And the thing about Pat Summit, people outside of Tennessee, they may, like, if you bring up Philip Fulmer, there's people that make fun of him and whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think there is a single person out there outside the Tennessee fan base that can say a bad thing about Pat Summit. I mean, I guarantee you right now, even ask Hoss 4107, I guarantee you he wouldn't say a bad thing about Pat Summit, or at least I guarantee he would say he probably respected her. And I think that's without, around the whole, basket or just college athletics in general, all the respect that she got. And that's why every year you see the We Back Pat week in every team. is wearing those shirts, no matter if it's Baylor, Tennessee, Georgia, Sam
Absolutely.
Houston State. So that is a really good number one, and that's. I'll go ahead and give my number one. My number one is the Minister of Defense, Reggie White. Another person that just there's people can critique just about any player. I feel like every player can be critiqued, whether you're talking Tom Brady, even Peyton Manning. But there is not. I really don't believe that anyone can really critique Reggie White, especially when he was in his prime, playing for the Eagles and the Packers. He just, man, he was as close to perfect as you could get as a defensive lineman. 198 sacks. I mean, probably, would have the sack record still if he could have played that extra year that he missed being in the USFL. Now I can't be for sure, but it's pretty. He was only passed by like 3 sacks. I guarantee you, in that 1 year he played in the USFL, he could have gotten those 3 sacks, in that one season. But just one of the most revered and respected NFL players of all time, and in my opinion, and a lot of NFL did a top 10 a few years ago, and they did the top 10 pass rushers, and he was number one. And I totally agree. So that's my number one.
Absolutely. Definitely one of those that you can't argue with. If anybody puts him at your top, nobody's going to argue with that. That guy was insane. He was an absolute monster.
Mm-hmm.
He did everything the right way all the time.
Mm-hmm. And in life, too.
Yes.
Not just on football field.
Yes. All right. That's our top 5, guys. Appreciate you commenting with your top 5s. Gate City says, Pat was respected like no other. She wore being the greatest well. You probably couldn't put it any better than that. She wore being the greatest well.
Absolutely.
All right. Time for a whack-ass tradition.
Whack-ass tradition. So, the whack-ass tradition is going to have to be down in Oklahoma. The Sooner Schooner. Let me tell you something, Josh. That is the wackest tradition. First of all, it's freaking animal abuse, okay? It's freaking animal abuse that you got those little Shetland ponies. A Shetland pony is a midget horse. It's like a mini horse, okay? And you got these little Shetland, dragging around a big-ass wagon. Not only that, but they're also carting around 2 idiots and a big fat chick, a.k.a. Miss Oklahoma. That's animal abuse, man.
Dang, man, you going after Miss Oklahoma too?
I mean, I was being nice. I'm sorry, the beached whale, Miss Oklahoma.
Yeah, we've seen that schooner flip way too many times. And, I mean, I get it. I understand where it comes from. It's probably, on the list of whack-ass traditions. It's. I don't think it's up there with, in the top 5 or anything like that. But it has to do with their mascot and their football team and all that stuff. So, I mean, at least it ties in as opposed to some of these other traditions that we see out there.
But, I mean, at least they're not rubbing a magical rock. I mean,
yeah, but they've rolled that thing a lot of times. It's a covered wagon. You can't really look all that cool barreling onto a football field in a covered wagon. I get it. I understand why you picked it for whack-ass tradition.
Got to, man. Got to. And it's not really working either. I mean, yeah, you can win the Big 12, Oklahoma, but, I mean, whoop-de-freaking-do. You see where that gets you?
Yeah, Oklahoma's about to cause the Big 12 to be overshadowed by the Pac-12 when it comes to that playoff selection if they don't watch it.
I mean, I feel like right now the ACC is head and shoulders above the Big 12 right now.
There's no doubt. I mean, the top two programs, or the top two conferences, are the SEC and the ACC. But man, the Big 10, the Big 12, selection committee is going to start taking a look at those Pac-12 teams over there for a playoff run if they don't step up their game.
That's true.
All right. Anything else you want to say about the Sooner Schooner?
No, other than it's ridiculous. No.
All right. General Nealon's 7 memes. Before we get started on the 7 memes, thank you to our sponsors, Hound Dogs, Tap House, Tennessee Tap House. Guys, there's probably not a better place to watch a Tennessee football game than Tennessee Tap House. And I'm not just saying that because we broadcast live from there. I'm saying that because the food over there is absolutely astonishing.
I got some fire pizza, man.
I know it, man. They bring us food out every time we go over there. And I always just kind of have to roll myself out of that place. And I feel awful afterwards because I've eaten too much. I sleep on the couch for about 2 hours after the broadcast. So definitely get out and check out Tennessee Tap House, even though there's no sports going on right now. Doesn't change the fact that they don't have they have great food, great beers.
And I don't know if they still do that Sunday brunch, man. But that is so good. If they do, you got to go to the Sunday brunch. It is worth it.
I've never been to the Sunday brunch just because I spend Saturday nights there, and I drive back to Campbell County. I don't really feel like getting up early and going and driving back to Knoxville to the Tap House, but I'm going to have to go check it out one time at least.
So let me ask you this real quick, Josh. When you pull into when it says welcome to Campbell County, do you hear dueling banjos?
No, don't hear dueling banjos so much as you see, cars with primer doors, things like that.
Nice.
I mean, it's a little more up to date than some of the, really redneck towns that we have in East Tennessee. But, it's no Knoxville or anything like that. But I love Campbell County.
That's cool.
I live here for a reason.
NASCAR Ball says we're going to tear up OU week 2 and their stupid wagon. Man, I hope so. And I think we got a good chance. I really do. I'm starting to, if we have a football season, I think we got a good chance, man.
Absolutely. We'll know in that first week what it's going to look like against OU, and we'll know a little bit more about what OU looks like too.
They got Spencer Rattler from the QB1.
Who does OU play week 1?
I don't know. I gotta look that up. Let's see. Who does OU play?
I'm sure it's a FCS or Sunbelt.
Yeah, probably. Team. Yeah, no doubt. I mean, come on. We got to get, when we get close to the season, we got to get my boy Oni Kuno on here. Big Oklahoma video maker. A very well-known Oklahoma video maker, by the way. So, we'll hopefully get him on here.
Yeah, Oklahoma got us 2 times in our last. Didn't we play them 2 times?
Yeah, 2014 and 15.
Yeah,
mm-hmm.
Did a home and away, and they got us in both of those. But we played them close in
2015.
Knoxville. Yeah.
Dude, we blew that game, man.
With Baker Mayfield.
Yes. Oklahoma opens up with Missouri State.
Oh, yeah. And who do we start with?
We start with Charlotte, I think, right? Do we?
Who starts with Furman? Somebody starts with Furman.
That's we play them week 3 after
okay.
Oklahoma.
That's where I'm seeing it.
Yeah. Let me make sure of that. Hold on. I don't want to say the wrong team. Yeah, we play with Charlotte.
Charlotte, number
1. OU, Furman, Florida, Missouri, Carolina, Bama, Arkansas,
it's gonna be interesting moving Missouri up to the front of the season
and Georgia in the back.
and Georgia to the back. I think that helps us with Georgia, but I don't know if that helps us too much with Missouri. Missouri they always start their seasons off, pretty decent.
That's true.
They kind of fade on the back end.
I think Missouri's going to have a tough year this year, man. I really do. And we'll find out.
Yeah.
But, yeah, that's we basically switched Missouri and Georgia.
Right.
So. And I can't believe Senior Day is against freaking Troy. That is ridiculous.
Hey, we're going to have to watch out for Troy. Game. We're going to have to watch out for Troy for sure. That's a sleeper. That's a trap game. It's a trap game. It's been a trap game for a lot of teams. All right, General Nealon's 7 memes of the show. The very first one, we talked about him a little bit in our top 5. Juwan Jennings, the night the lights went out in Georgia.
Beautiful.
It's a beautiful thing. I love how that one's done too. It's all grayed out except for Juwan. That's a beautiful picture.
Damn Skippy.
Oh, the memories. Great times. Number 2. Just wait, guys. We're going to make headlines one day. I love anything where we can poke fun at the Gators.
Even though that's a little dark, and that's my bad. I picked that one out.
We'll just not comment any further on that one. We'll leave that one right where it's at. You can be left to your own devices.
Yeah, the other one that had that picture was a lot worse. I don't know. Can I say it? Well, it just said it said a Christian, a racist, and a murderer walk into a bar.
Well, there's not a lot of infactual things about that. Jacob, Eason, Christ, my favorite.
My favorite.
My favorite. Mm-hmm.
You remember that?
Yeah, he broke his TV.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, that's one of that's my favorite Blue moment too. That's the only reason I know who he is.
There you go.
Then, let's see, number 3, they told me we were going to a basketball game. UK fans. Yeah, that's pretty much par for the course for them. And we'll drag Ole Miss into this episode too. The bread aisle was so empty, Ole Miss mascot thought it was a trophy case. Oddy toddy. When Tennesseans hear the word snow. That's true. It's bad over here whenever they say snow. It's coming. So they used Ole Miss to make fun of Tennesseans?
I think that was... I don't know how that got on there, actually. I didn't even see that till now.
It's the empty bread aisle. Yeah.
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
Snowmageddon. That's what we call it.
Snowmageddon. It's usually like an inch or two. All right. And sticking with our whack-ass tradition, taking a shot at the Oklahoma Sooners, missing the Oklahoma Sooners defense last seen 2004. That's pretty accurate. I can't think of an Oklahoma defense that's been great since 2004.
Yeah. Which 2004 they lost to USC, I think, wasn't it?
I think so.
No. Yeah, that was USC. Yep. Okay.
Yep. All right, had the kids for meme number 6. There it is. Bama fans be like, Saban just farted over here. Oh man, that's so gross. So gross to imagine a fart getting in your mouth. I don't care if it did come from Nick Saban.
No, I wouldn't care either.
And then a request from our guest this morning, Mr. Luke Thomas. He asked that we do a BYU meme. There it is. Julie Rose prophecies about the end of the world this month came true for BYU football.
We're going a little controversial.
Yeah, this is not the show to be poking. This is not the year to be poking fun at BYU either. I'd like them back on the schedule.
Oh, I want revenge.
Yeah, I'd like them and Georgia State back on the schedule.
Absolutely.
There you have it. General Nealon's 7 memes brought to you by Hound Dogs of Knoxville and Tennessee Tap House. Guys, go check them out. If you haven't spent any money with Hound Dogs or Tennessee Tap House, you're missing out. They're both great businesses, both very, very much Vol-friendly businesses, and they support our shows and everything that we do at the Volunteer Roadshow. So go support them too.
Oh, that's right. Luke just made a good comment. He said they will be. We go to their place, not this year, but next year.
BYU?
Yeah.
Ooh.
I forgot about that.
Ooh, and it's next year. Ooh.
In Provo.
That's going to be good. Yep. There you go. That's why we have Luke, to remind us of all of the things that we don't think about. Mr. Luke. Man, that's going to be a good. All of this young talent's going to be juniors and seniors. Woo! We should destroy them by that time.
Yeah. For sure.
All right, not whack-ass traditions.
Dumpster
fire. Yeah, we're doing the dumpster fire of the week. And that was chosen by our very own Mr. Alex Carter. Alex Carter, whichever you like to be called. Tell our folks tell our folks who the dumpster fire of the week is.
The dumpster fire program of the week is none other than the boys up north of us, the University of Kentucky. First of all, Kentucky, let me get real serious here. Take off the shades. Quit stealing our damn checkerboards, okay? We did it. I don't care who did it first. I know you got your horse racing, because that's the only thing that's even credible in the whole state of Kentucky besides some stupid water park Josh loves, okay?
Hey, look, they've got horse racing, they've got the water park, and they've got basketball.
Good for them.
It seems to be, as the further you head north, the more important basketball is to your college.
And that's fine. Look, Kentucky's got basketball, but they're in a football conference. I think everyone would agree the SEC is a football conference. No matter what you say, it doesn't matter. It's a football conference. You ask Florida, Georgia, Bama, Tennessee, any school besides freaking Kentucky, this is a football conference. So
Jordan, I'm going to probably butcher your last name here, but I'm going to say Ciampini. That's how I'm saying it. He says, did you guys see Florida freshmen leaving for the transfer portal before even pulling on a jersey? What's going on with that program? There was a write-up that was done by the Florida. It was on the Florida 247, I believe it was, Florida 247 page, that said one of the recruits out there said that Mullen thinks he can win with anybody on offense. He doesn't care about recruiting when it comes to offense. He lets the defensive guys do their thing on defense and try to go after the 5 stars and the 4 stars, and he just recruits players that he likes, and he thinks he can win any ball game with anybody on offense. So I think that these recruits are hearing that he doesn't care about recruiting, and they're jumping ship. Mullen's gotten lucky. He's gotten 10 wins in his first 2 seasons. I think he's done a really good job of taking advantage of an East that's down right now. Tennessee, Missouri, USC, all of these teams. When Kentucky's competing for the East is in trouble.
No kidding.
And I think Mullen's done a really good job of taking advantage of those things. But the chickens are going to come home to roost. And I don't think you're going to see Dan Mullen at the University of Florida for very long.
Bold statement.
Yeah. I give him 5 years. I give him 5 years max. And that's counting the past 2 seasons. I think he has a fall off in these next 3 seasons, and he's gone by year 5.
All right.
So there you go. So dumpster fire program, University of Kentucky.
Can't spell suck without UK.
That's true.
Taylor Watson says Florida is going to the Outback Bowl. Okay. Or I'm sorry, Taylor Walston. Sorry if I butchered that, buddy.
Jordan, did I say your name right? You said pretty good and then smiled. Spell it out, buddy. Spell out the pronunciation of your name. I'm interested to know how you pronounce that last name. He says Todd Grantham, bend but don't break defense is falling to shambles. Yeah. They're not known for their defense over there in Gainesville. Let's see. Luke says, well, he'll have to because their recruiting has turned into a dumpster fire during the last few days. Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah, anytime Florida's doing bad, that makes me happy.
It does, doesn't it?
How many SEC championships has Mullen won as a coach? That's a very good point, Haas. He has won 0. He did some things over at Mississippi State with some limited resources, but I still think, you look at the condition of the SEC West even at that time. Auburn was down, LSU was down. When this middle tier and upper tier programs start the decline, naturally the lower tier programs that have just been doing what they've been doing, they kind of shake their way to the top. And that's what you've seen with Mississippi State while Mullen was there. That's what you saw with Kentucky, with Mark Stoops. And that's why Dan Mullen was able to come in and take a 4-8 Florida team to a 10-win season and win a bowl game. I mean, like I said, the chickens are going to come home to roost on all that stuff. I think South Carolina's we're probably looking at another 5 or 6 years before they're competitive again. They're going to have to go through firing Muschamp and getting a new coach over there before they're competitive. Tennessee's on the rise. Both of the Mississippi teams, Ole Miss and Mississippi State, should be pretty competitive in the West coming up with Kiffin and the Pirate over there.
That's going to be so much fun to watch, man.
I can't wait to watch the Egg Bowl. I cannot wait to watch the Egg Bowl. The score to that game is going to be something stupid like 77-63. I mean, it's got to be. The first one of those two coaches that decides that defense is important is going to compete for the West.
That's fair.
Ciampini. I said Ciampini. I said Ciampini, so Ciampini. Yeah, there you go. I got close. You're right. Proud of myself.
You did great, Josh.
Good
job, buddy.
Yeah, absolutely.
You get a gold star today.
I'm an expert in nameology.
Ah.
Not really. That's a line from one of my favorite movies of all time, Boondock Saints.
Very good movie.
You've seen Boondock Saints?
Of course, man. I've seen the second one too.
Oh, you're right, Luke. 4 and 7, not 4 and 8. I forgot. They canceled one of their games because of a storm. They were afraid to get wet. Lane might be the greatest OC. However, as a head coach, I'm not sold. I mean, yeah, he's a great offensive mind. He's really cocky. He knows how to stir the other team up. He knows how to get under their skin. But at FIU, it became, or FAU, it became painfully obvious whenever he met another team with a huge talent advantage. But in his own conference down there, I mean, he did some great things. He proved himself as a head coach in my book. I think he could have done some good things here. I don't know why he struggled out in California so much. I mean, the Pac-12 was wide open. Anybody could have stepped in there. And I guess, he only got 3 seasons there, didn't he?
I think so. Not even 3. I think
he was like out in the middle.
Orgeron.
Out in the middle of his 3rd season. That's on USC in my opinion. You got to give a guy time to get his guys in.
Yeah.
Unless they're like a Derek Dooley type coach, then I have no problem letting them go.
If it's all right with you, Josh, I thought I could name the top comment of the day.
You got the top comment?
I got the top
comment. Does it
comment.
come from Facebook or YouTube?
YouTube.
Okay. Who you got?
Top comment winner is Gate City Blue Devil with his comment. Pat was respected like no other. She wore being the greatest well.
Absolutely. I think you can. I think I can get with that. I can get on board with that one. That's a really great way to put how she was as a coach, as a person, as a public figure in Knoxville. She wore being the greatest well. She really did. She was humble, but confident, and those are 2 things that are easy to put together.
Absolutely. So Gate City, get with me, and I'll be sending you something in the mail, sir.
Message Carter, and for the other 2 guys, NASCAR and who was it that won last week? Was it Haas?
I think it was Haas.
Yeah, that's right. No, Big Dog. It was Big Dog.
Okay.
I've got it written down somewhere, so don't stress, Big Dog. I know that you're the one. I've got it written down. But for those guys, I think for NASCAR, what we're doing is a signed 8x10 of the play by Billy Rattler. And Big Dog, we're still kind of working on yours. I mean, you're a Georgia fan. What does a Tennessee fan get a Georgia fan? Maybe an 8x10. Maybe an 8x10 of the Dobnell boot play. Autographed by me. So it has 0 value except for, a slap in the face from a Tennessee fan to a Georgia fan.
I may have something for the Georgia fan here. Let's see. Not sure if he would want it, but I'll give him the option. How about this? Looky there. Todd Gurley card, if you want it.
Yeah, throw that in. Throw that in with his his 8x10 of the Dobnell boot, signed by me.
Sounds good.
All right, guys. Anything else you want to add, Carter? Are we doing anything else? What else is on the agenda for today?
Well, no, that's it. Looks like we had our final word. And we'll be back Thursday. And
should we do a final thought segment maybe starting next show? Like I could, thought of the day, or I'm going to leave you guys with this. Something a little serious. Like I always remember to wipe front to back.
Something that's a little bit brutally honest too.
Floss at least 3 times a month, so that your dentist doesn't get onto you. And we can come up with something.
Yeah.
We'll do a final thought segment at the end of these shows, and we'll solicit to you some very valuable, but also at the same time useless advice.
All right. That sounds good to me, man.
It's tricky, but we'll make it happen. All right. that's going to do it for us here at Picked Off. I've been Josh Griffin. That is Alex Carter. You guys have a fantastic week. It is Tuesday. We'll see you guys on Thursday morning at 10 o'clock. Be sure again to get out and support Hound Dogs, Tennessee Tap House, and those guys that support the Volunteer Roadshow.
Thank you to Luke Thomas for coming on today and breaking down the recruiting and everything like that.
And thank you to you guys in the comments section. Without you guys commenting, the show would be pretty boring.
Yeah, real quick, I can give a quick shout out to NASCAR Ball, Gate City Blue Devil, Jason. What's his name?
Ciampini. It's the Ciampini.
Ciampini.
Jason Ciampini.
Hoss 407. Let's see, who else was there? Luke Thomas. Taylor Walston.
Mega thank you to Gate City for dropping that super chat, man. We appreciate that. And that is not why he won top comment. I think anybody can agree. Pat Summit War being the greatest is a pretty dang good comment.
Yep. Shout out to Sam Bell. Slim Mosley. Thank you, Slim.
Slim, that's right. Slim was active in the early part of the
Kevin Stokes.
Called me the other white guy.
Yep. Kevin Stokes, Ballard Sports Media. I believe that's everybody. Thank you guys so much. We appreciate it.
What about Facebook? Did you shout out to those?
I thought you were watching Facebook.
Carter, I had my phone on so that Luke could call in. I was not watching Facebook. Hey, we apologize to you guys, Facebook. We'll get in there.
No. I was watching Facebook while he was on.
Oh, okay.
But
I got you.
It was I didn't see anybody any different that was in there. Crap. Let me check it again because I'm so sorry, Scott. Yeah, Scott Coghorn. I think it's Lewis Gardner. Billy Ratliff, of course. Sorry, guys.
Man. You missed old Billy in the Facebooks.
I did.
Oh, he's going to fire us. Love you, Billy. All right, guys. That's going to wrap it up for us. I'll be sure that we watch Facebook the next episode. I leave it to Carter for 1 week, and this is what we get. So our apologies to Facebook. We love you, though. Y'all have a good week. We'll see you on Thursday. Go Big Orange.
Peace.